Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this morning. I have a special guest out here in Studio B. I'm glad to have this special guest because you may not recognize him, but we'll give you time to, we'll get to it in a minute why you may not recognize him. But anyway, I'll move on with our weather. We're looking at a high of 71. I know it's January the 27th, high of 71, but low's going to be 41. We've got some cold weather coming, so get ready for that. And water temperature, I had is at 61.2, so that's about steady right there. Speaking of steady, look at our river readings. The Apalachicola at Bluntstown is at right at an 8.8, and the Choctahatchee at Careville 8.1, and they're steady. Not a lot of movement going there, and I don't know. We're getting some rain, so we're going to have some changes on the Choctahatchee probably for the weekend. Looks like tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn, right on 23rd Street. We're looking at today, like I said, 27th, great tides. The low is this morning at 6:30. Okay, then it's coming in all day till 8:11 tonight. Good strong tide, and the wind is going to be coming out of southwest at about 17. West-southwest, more of a west movement there at 17. So be aware of that if you get out on the water. Be careful. We'll take a break. Come back, got a special guest. Welcome back, and for you folks that may not recognize, this is Captain Ken Paramore, formerly with FWC, retired now. So, all right, we got to, first things first, we got to tell the story of the hair.
There's a hair story.
Okay, so tell the folks the story.
My last haircut was March the 3rd of 2020.
Okay.
And then, as you all know, COVID came. Mm-hmm. And actually, Ben Still's wife cuts my hair.
Oh, cool.
So Stacy and Ben, good morning. COVID came, they shut her down, obviously.
Yeah.
So whenever about a month goes by to get a haircut, they're shut down. So we're into mid-March now, April. Well, guess what came? Turkey season. Priorities, right?
That's right.
So for 6 weeks, I hunted turkeys just about every day. So now we're into late April. I bought a new boat. April, took delivery around the 1st of April.
Okay.
Brand new boat, so anxious to get on the water. So by that time, I think Stacy had kind of opened back up, was taking appointments. And so a couple times I checked with her, backed up due to, you know, it's not her fault, but. So I put it off. So I'll wait till you slow down. Well then we're into May. And then next what happened, June, snapper opens up, right?
Priorities again.
Priorities again. So we went all of June, all of July. Snapper closed, I believe, in August there somewhere. I'm getting ready for hunting season now, you know.
Right.
Another priority. So about September came, and it trust me, folks, it's driving me crazy. But but I put up with it. And then me and the wife were talking, and she says, why don't you let it go for a year? We're past 6 months now. So I said, let's take it month to month. So I rocked on, then hunting season came. Mm-hmm. And I've been hunting, you know, a lot when you're retired, as Ben knows now. See, Ben's retired, and you see pictures of him just about every day.
I know.
So I just haven't got a cut. And another rationale was, you know, I worked for the state for 35 years. I was 58 when I retired. So I worked 35. So over half my life, I had to have the hair off my ears. I've never had hair this long in my entire life, not even in high school. You know, it was longer than, not, you know, it was over my ears, but not like this. So anyway, we're shooting for a year, and March 3rd will be a year.
And then what?
I don't know yet. I'll probably go see Stacy.
Well, that's a good story. I was thinking, you know, talking about FWC, working for them. Now you're in a position, though, you can go undercover with long hair.
I could go back and go in investigations.
Okay, well, we want to get that straight, so that's good. Right. So, speaking of, we'll get to fishing in a little bit, but speaking of hunting, we showed the pictures. You've had another good year. So
had a real good year. And I can tell a little game camera story if we have time.
yes,
But
this is a good story.
the first buck that I killed, I had been hunting in the mornings, and I like to hunt in the mornings. I'm okay with afternoons, but if I have my choice, I go in the mornings. It gives you all afternoon to take care of your deer. If he runs off, you don't have to try to find him in the dark. I mean, all that stuff. So I was hunting in the mornings, and I wasn't checking my cameras. I don't have any of the phone cameras, but I wasn't checking my cameras till like once a week. So when I go hunting, I pull a card. Well, a week might have gone by. So I go home, put it in the computer. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in this stand I've been hunting, the buck was there in the afternoons. 5 in a row on camera. And they were right at dark to maybe just a hair before. I mean, not really like 3 o'clock, but dusk. And then, so I said, okay, I'm switching gears and I'm going to afternoons. I sat 3 afternoons in a row. Same place, same time frame, 0. So I'm thinking, well, what happened now? You know. Anyway, I skipped a day or two. I went back, got in an afternoon, and he came out right at dusk. So the game camera turned me to the afternoons more so than just wanting to hunt afternoons. But it was obvious that where he was living, he was coming in the afternoons. And so key to those of you who have a camera that doesn't go to your phone, check your cards sooner instead of waiting a week and then you say, golly,
5 days.
5 afternoons in a row, and I was sitting there that morning.
That's cool.
So, but yeah, and now, of course, the rut, there was, you know, the one a week ago was, he was trailing a doe, and that was a pretty cool story. But 2 so far, and I've still got a doe, I got 2 doe tags still, so. Still got a little bit to do, but you know, where I'm at, we're allowed two bucks, so I'm tagged out on my bucks anyway, which is okay, because, you know, I don't really need more than 2.
Yeah, that's a good goal right there.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking about afternoon, morning. I've always thought about it saying, I'm like you, I'm a morning guy, but at times you can't get there in the morning, got to get in the afternoon. And I wonder what kind of studies and all been done. I think it's just hit and miss sometimes as far as what's the best time. What's your thinking?
It seems like on the full moons, either right before or after, seem like they come out right at dark or right in the afternoons, more so in the mornings. Because, you know, the theory is they feed at night.
Right.
And you can sit a lot during full moon in the mornings and maybe have some success. But any other time, I think the best rule of thumb is, you know, a few hours in the mornings. And then my thing was getting the stand on our time by 3 and give you a couple hours sit, you know, in the afternoons. And when the rut comes, I think the rules are out the window.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
And I do think, and I know you think too, I do think they pattern us, and us just pattern them at times. I think they have
I wondered about that one. It's like, well, did I leave scent, you know, enough where he knew or you know, but.
Yeah, he's sitting over there just waiting for, okay, he's going to leave in a minute. You always think, you know, with a pattern like that.
Yep. But he was a big deer. The first one was a big deer. The second one was a little less body weight. You know, he wasn't a young deer, but the first one was, that joker was heavy.
Did it have a lot of fat on them? And all
yes, both of them.
They've been eating good, haven't they?
And, you know, everybody said this year there was an acorn crop that was really good. And I saw some acorns in a lot of the places, so I'm sure that had something to do with it. But yeah, covered in fat.
That's good. Do you hunt out of a ground blind or stand?
I have both up there. Yeah. I have a ground blind. We have club stands that are either ladders or built, you know, condo types. Right. And then I have a couple ladders of my own in another place or two. So it just depends on if you want to be up or down. And I can tell you a story about a ladder stand. Was the morning that we had all those freeze and colds.
Yes.
You go to climb up and your boot slips on the rung of the ladder, and you catch yourself and say, that wouldn't have been good.
Yeah. You got to be careful with that. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and see where he's been most successful, either ground, ladder, or condo. So let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. This is one of our Panhandle Outdoors team members. This is Captain Ken Paramore with the long hair. Okay.
Glad to be back too. Been a long time.
I know. It's just messed up everybody's schedule, and a lot of things are different. Real quick now, this Friday out at the shooting range, we've talked about our Second Chance organization, the Bay County shooting range. It'll be at 8:30. Will be a safety briefing. You see it on the screen there, and it's going to be Second Chance, a great organization there of Northwest Florida, a non-profit organization serving the needs of adults with brain injury. So that's doing a lot of good things. So if you can't shoot, just make a donation to them if you can. Okay. All right. Now let's get back. The question was before it went on the break. What have you found over the years you're most successful in? Ground blind, the ladder, or the condo, roughly? Out of those?
Well, what I found in my previous hunting lease, and then now verified it where I'm at now, was the tree stand sitting, the food plot sitting, and the corn feeder sitting during the rut, to me, is almost useless. I'll give you an example. At our new place, it's up there when I killed the second deer a few weeks ago, sat on the food plot with corn and the whole bit, pretty food plots, afternoon, morning, afternoon, not seeing anything. And then you go out to leave, or you go to you check your roads and your crossings, and you see movement, you see where they've been crossing. So the same thing held true in my other place during the rut. They're not coming, or in my experience, they're not. I felt like I was wasting my time sitting on a food plot or corn. Now, yes, if you have does that come in, a lot of times he'll be on the fringes, or right there at that last moment he'll pop out. But what I did in those years is found myself crossings, travel lanes, places that are open enough to where you have a trail or you can back off and sit. And wind is the most important to me as well. Get downwind. I have a three-prong stool with a little back on it and a shooting stick. And I back up into thick cover, or, so you don't silhouette. And I watch that trail. It's kind of the same as sitting on a food plot, because you're going to spend the same amount of time and you may not see anything. But I've killed more, in my experience, sitting on travel lanes or trails during the rut. Now, I won't do that when they're coming to eat grass and eat corn early in the season and then again late. But I back off and sit on the ground in a stool with nothing in front of me but just full camo. With a shooting stick, and it's quick. But I can tell you, if she comes through, you better get ready, because sometimes it's less than 30 seconds. As happened Thursday before last, it was 10 minutes. And I was going to shoot that doe 2 weeks ago. I was going to shoot, the doe was coming down the road, and I was going to shoot the doe and fill a tag. And it was that cold morning, one of the coldest mornings that we had up there recently. And she was coming and was coming down the road and turned broadside on the trail. A perfect shot. I raised up and got on my shooting stick. I was a little bit wobbly, because it's only a single. I don't have a dual stick. It's a single bipod. So I got on her, and I didn't like the way it was going, so I went to cinch up a little tighter to get tighter, and I guess I exhaled, and the fog came in on the scope.
That's happened. Yes.
And now I can't hardly see her at all. And they're not going to wait on you, because they're not going to. They're traveling. So she stepped off. So I was mad at myself, mad at the whole works.
A rookie mistake.
Yep.
We all do it.
Yep. And I couldn't reach up at the time. She's standing in front of me and try to wipe the scope off it, So that was done. So rather than get up and leave, I said, well, I'll just wait here. It was 10 minutes, probably between 10 and 15. It was longer than it normally takes, because usually if they're after one, he's coming along with his nose to the ground, and you better be ready. But he came moseying, and he almost, it looked like, stepped in her footprints. I mean, everywhere that I remember to recall that she had come down, he'd look down once in a while or sniff the ground once in a while, but he just knew. It was like he was on a string. And of course, by that time now, I'd got my scope unfogged. I did the front too. It was a little foggy from the weather, but the back one was when I exhaled, you know, trying to tighten up on it. Got closer to the scope.
Yeah.
And then he came and he turned broadside, and that was that.
That was that. So it was a
So
good inning.
during the rut, I like to hunt trails, whether you get up or whether you're on the ground. It's easier to be more mobile because you can move around and find openings or crossings or whatever. So.
All right, great story. Good ending. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So, our buddy Ken Paramore, some great stories right there. Let's take a look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. 10:03 to 12:03, right here in the middle of the day, and then tonight, 10:30 to 12:30. And I've got an email from a viewer last night. I want to know if I knew when the Deer Point Dam drawdown would end, and I haven't been able to find out. So if any of y'all know when the Deer Point drawdown ends, text me or let me know, and I'll pass it on to the viewers. Because it probably won't, you know, in the cold weather.
I think they're probably still hoping for some more frost and kill it back some more. But I think it's been, you know, I believe it was last year before it wasn't very effective because we didn't have any cold.
We didn't have cold weather, yeah.
We've had plenty this winter.
We had a good week of it, I know.
Except for the last week or so.
I know. Okay, real quick, let's mention red snapper. Was your red snapper season pretty decent?
It was. Like I mentioned earlier, I had got a new boat in April, and of course then, you know, if you remember right, it blew April and most of May, it seemed like. And even when snapper opened, it was like, of course, I can pick the days, but we had so much blowing. But yeah, me and my wife, and I was able to take a few friends.
Good deal.
And we caught some red snapper, some kingfish, some gags, lane snapper, kind of just getting my feet on the ground with it because I have a trolling motor on the front of this one.
Okay.
And I'm not used to using I wasn't used to using the spot lock, which will hold you on the spot.
That's cool, isn't it? Yeah.
The other boats that I've had, you know, you drift over them and then you reel up and move back and reel up.
It's going to be a thing of the past. It's crazy, isn't it?
It's so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
You can sit there, you can turn the motor off. It'll hold you on the spot. You fish like you're anchored. You don't have to pull on an anchor rope.
I know. Well, that's why I like taking my grandson. He can figure all that stuff out. I'm like you. I'm still trying. I'm going back and forth.
Yeah, it's a whole new learning process with a bigger boat and how everything functions. And yeah, you can go on your phone and anyway.
I know it.
But we did. It was a good season. Due to the weather, you know, and then we got some extensions, and then of course it blew a little bit then. So I missed some of that, and then of course I'd changed gears in October, November. So.
All right, now we've had the pandemic going strong, and we sort of had an effect on our whole life and the whole country and all. One thing, all these little things like our Buckmasters and National Wild Turkey Federation, this has an effect on it. You're a president of a local, so tell us what's going on with NWTF.
NWTF is in dire straits, for lack of a better word. As you know, last year they canceled almost every banquet that was scheduled across the nation. And so there was a few that had some outdoor stuff, and they've done some virtual gun blasts, and it's just not the same, you know. And the convention this year, February next month, has been canceled, although it's virtual. They've had vendors sign up online, and you can sign up online and go in and purchase from those vendors who are there, but they're not there, given the same discounts that they gave, you know. So, but the biggest, well, that was a big hit, but the double whammy for NWTF was they lost about 50,000 members, if you think about it, because most banquets provide or you pay for a membership.
Right.
Our banquets, for example, we had 200, 250 people. With their tickets came a membership. That's just 200 and some. But if you do that across the nation, so the NWTF, if those people, you know, if they figure they're gonna renew every banquet, it's automatic. But if they don't think to renew, So right now they're down about 50,000 members.
Wow.
And that's another revenue source in addition to what the banquets bring in.
Yeah.
And it's just been stifled, and it's sad. But like you said, Buckmasters, Ducks Unlimited, the Elks Foundation, all those that rely on banquets and public gatherings for a source of income, because most of them, if not all of them, are nonprofits.
Yeah.
And then
those I went to all of them, and there's so much fun,
Oh,
so
yeah.
much fellowship and trading stories, and always great food, and
you can win something.
And
maybe.
you can definitely win something
Yeah.
there. So hopefully we'll get it back.
If we get up and running, we still hope to have one in August, but right now it's up in the air.
So we're shooting for August, and
We're going to try to do our youth turkey challenge possibly this spring.
Okay.
I'll try to get more out about that if we can get that off the ground. But I do encourage anyone who has been a member or is a member, you can go on their website, nwtf.org. You can play in some gun raffles. You can attend the convention online. You can purchase memberships online. Right now they have a deal. If you buy a membership, they'll send you a $25 gift card from Bass Pro Shop.
Good deal.
So the membership is costing you $10, and you spend $35 up front. You get a $25 gift card back in the mail.
Yeah.
So the membership costs you $10, but they really need to boost membership because they lost so much.
Yeah, and now I think now is more important than ever in our country that we outdoorsmen support our organizations, all the organizations that support outdoor activities.
And what happened without banquets, the Superfund monies that we put back into the ground didn't get generated.
Yeah.
So we're going to go a whole year without being able to enhance habitat.
Yeah, and that's
basically.
Yeah. Well, we got to wrap things up, Ken. Buddy, we still got a lot more to talk about.
Yeah, we could have done an hour.
I know, we could have. Folks, well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate y'all watching Panhandle Outdoors. As always, do something good today for your fellow man. Enjoy the great outdoors. Support your organization. Support your fellow outdoorsmen. You have a great day, and God bless.
God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.